All right, Wrestling Doctor here for Pro Wrestling Extra. I'm here sitting with Jayson Falcone. Jayson, thank you for coming and
thank you very much
doing this interview with me. Let me tell you, this guy has been in the business for how many years?
In February of 2013, it'll be 2 years.
2 years. Let me tell you, go to YouTube, look up Jayson Falcone. Where were you? Where have you been wrestling? What promotion have you been in?
Well, for the last few months, I've wrestled with Jason Rant, I believe in wrestling, and then just various promotions around the Orlando area. I've just been last weekend. I had a trip to Alabama, which I'm quite frequently going there now. You know, once a month, they ask me to come up there, and I'm more than willing to drive and do whatever I have to do.
You have to do that. So he's on YouTube. Take a look at him. One of the top young wrestlers in the business today. Take a look at his spots and what he can do. It's amazing. 2 years in the business. Take a look at him. All right, Jayson Falcone, that's your real name.
Yes, sir.
So that's kind of unusual.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of guys don't like to use their real name in the business, but you know, you're going to make that name famous, aren't you?
I'm going to try to. Back when I started, my wife and I sat down and we're like, we need to come up with a name. We need to come up with a name. And I'm like, well, my birth name, my given name is Jayson, Jason, but so while we were trying to decide what my name should be, I'm like, well, just keep it simple, just a Hawaiian name.
Yeah, jazz it up.
Jazz it up with Hawaii. So it seemed to have worked out fine. Wife makes my own stuff. So it's really been great.
Is she thinking about going into business to make outfits?
She's happy just videotaping my matches right now. So.
Okay, I don't blame her. It's a lot of work to make outfits and stuff. All right. The independent scene right now, and I had an interview with Ash Christensen. We were talking about the oversaturation of the independents right now in the business. The Orlando area, Tampa, Greater Miami area, Jacksonville area is just saturated with promotions and going, which is a good thing because it gives guys a place to go and work. But now we've got so much on TV, 3 hours on Monday night, 2 hours on Thursday night, the big boys wrestling, as they like to call it, but and all the pay-per-views. Do you think it would be better if we went back to smaller territories, to maybe instead of 6 different organizations running Orlando, that maybe it would go back to 2 running and just more shows?
I have different views on that. I really like all genres of professional wrestling. I really like the old school stuff. I always said I wish I was around, 30 years ago to experience, when the NWA World Champion would go to all over the United States, all over the world, and defend that championship. As far as these these wrestling promotions around, like you said, it's good that they're all there. Honestly, a lot of times, you may see a lot of the same people in the same shows, but then again, that's where your creativity comes in and want to be able to perform on a higher level and do other things differently than anybody else. And that's where you really want to separate yourself, from the pack.
Well, that's the problem, how to stand out from just the pack. That's really hard. And one of the ways you're doing it is with your wrestling ability in the ring and the moves you do.
Yes, sir.
I think that's something you're working on. Do you train weekly? What is your schedule?
Well, I try to as much as I can. I live around 2 hours away from Orlando, Florida, where I've been been training recently. So usually whenever I have a show coming up or something, I'll try and make the trip down there just to get some training in. So I don't have a regular training schedule, but it's like I said, coming to the next shows or something, you want to brush up on skills, so I tend to train. Best kinds of training, and I'll be training probably for my entire career, so
oh, yeah, so
that'll never stop.
How about physical training in the gym, running?
Yeah, I try to keep physically fit as I possibly can, and my problem is I'm trying to gain the weight.
Right. I wish I had that problem.
That's all right. But yeah, just try and keep in shape, and
keep your cardio.
Keep my cardio up. I got a great match coming up tonight, and hopefully that'll be probably one of my better matches, one of my top performances. I'm working.
You're
with
working Lance Alante.
Lance Alante.
He's a great performer.
I'm very excited. We're in his hometown where he grew up. It's a dream for him to be here to wrestle in front of his hometown crowd, and I couldn't be more happier to be his opponent. And so I know that we're going to give those people their money's worth, and hopefully give them a show that they'll remember for a long time.
One other thing I like to talk about, one of the things that I enjoy doing is watching video of wrestlers. Do you watch video of some guys, some opponents, and or do you just watch video of people to see if you can see anything you're interested in?
Yes and no. Like a lot of guys that I've wrestled before, I haven't met until literally, beforehand,
Right.
So it's and sometimes they don't have stuff on YouTube, so it's kind of hard for them. But a lot of times I like to do a little bit of studying to expect the unexpected, I guess you would say. And so, yeah, I try to keep up on who I'm wrestling and keep a good eye out. Try to look for little things I can do to work in there.
That's important. That is important. Anything you can do to help your career, it's important to keep at it and try to keep up with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Listen, in 5 years, what is your plan for your future? Where do you think you'll be in 5 years?
If I had a crystal ball, I would tell you. I can't really tell. Hopefully, by the graces of the man upstairs, I'll be in this business, in professional wrestling. It's what I dreamed of, ever since I was 3 years old, and it finally came to fruition almost 2 years ago. So, 5 years, I hope to. It's kind of hard to say. But I just want to be able to do what I love to do, and that's be in the ring.
Okay, so the guys that you wrestle with, who are some of the guys that are veterans that you look up to and that you may pattern yourself after?
I'm a huge fan of Bernang. In my eyes, he's probably one of the greatest to ever step in the ring. I like Shawn Michaels. I really like Bret the Hitman Hart. But my goal in professional wrestling is to, with no disrespect, not to follow anybody else's footsteps. And that's to pretty much create my own path, my own way. And even with all those styles coming from different parts of the world, different wrestling styles, maybe I'm just trying to mold them in to my own style. But like I said, I just want to be able to make a name for myself, with the help of others, but not so much follow anybody's pattern. Just want to really create my own style.
That's something I always say is, watch, learn from them, don't copy them. Learn from them and utilize what you've learned in your own way.
Right.
And it becomes your move, your thing. And that's what you're doing. I think that's great. I think you got a big future in front of you, man.
Thank you very much.
And I think when I saw your first match, I said that guy has got a future in front of him. I really believe it. And I appreciate you sitting down with me.
Thank you very much.
And
it's an honor. Thank you.
This is the Wrestling Doctor from Pro Wrestling Extra. Thank you.